Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. The IFBB Texas Pro Day 1 has let out. The 212 division final results are in, and Kerrith Bajjo has redeemed his second place finish in Tampa with a win here. He'll be going back to the 212 Olympia come December. Congratulations to Kerrith. You know, Kerrith looks like he tightened up from last week just a little bit, dried out just a little bit, and he did everything he needed to do to win here. The judges' scorecards were unanimous. I don't think it was even close, to be honest with you. Cody Drobot was second place, but this was Kerrith Bajjo's show. There was no Keon Pearson here this week, who had beat him last week in Tampa. And I think if Kerrith would have delivered this look last week, he could have possibly have won the show. So whatever he did between last week and this week worked really well. I think he was a little, maybe there's some nerves there, or maybe just wasn't dried out enough. This was a good look for him. He was shredded from head to tail. And after all, you know, he's got all the bells and whistles. He's got no weaknesses really in his physique. He's balanced from up to bottom. His legs are great, probably among the best in the entire 212 division. So this was a very convincing win for Kerrith. And once again, he's going back to the 212 Olympia. Great job. I know Kerrith, since the beginning of his career, helped him turn pro, and we won Tampa last year together. So he's a good guy, and he works really hard. He's got that working class mentality, and he's never satisfied. And so I'm excited for him, and I'm excited to see him back on that Olympia stage. Cody Drobot in the second position, you got to take your hat off to this guy. I mean, he really, at his age, he is showing that he's got what it takes to be a future champion. He delivered the goods here, brought great conditioning. He's got a really good structure. And I think I think in the future, he's going to be winning a lot of shows. Needs a little bit more mass, a little bit more muscle maturity, but he did everything he had to do here. Second place, he's placed last week as well. He's got some good points. He might be at the Olympia come the end of the year. I would tend to guess that he's going to probably do another show after this one. I don't think he's done yet. This was a good look for him. I thought that he did, once again, everything he really needed to do in this lineup to secure himself that second place position. It was unanimous. The judges didn't think that anyone else should have beat him. Even though Jordan Janowitz was probably the biggest guy in this class, he looked great. I mean, you got to take your hat off to this guy. This guy took a long time to turn pro. He's polished. He's got muscle maturity. He's got roundness to his physique. He's in great condition. There's really, I don't really have too much to say in terms of, what he can do better. I think he's got to just keep delivering the goods like he is. This was a tough lineup in the sense that the top two guys were really exceptional. I mean, you could have made an argument for Jordan possibly fitting into that second position. I think Kerrith had this show pretty easily won, but Jordan should, be proud of himself. He brought a great look. I would keep going if I were him, hit a couple more shows. He could absolutely, end the season with a win and wind up back at that Olympia. Ricky Moten Jr. will finish in that fourth position. What a great comeback for him, right? After he was in Tampa last week, and then he's here this week, and he's just getting better and better. And I think once Ricky really works out the bugs and gets himself a little harder, a little drier, he's going to be dangerous as well. He'll be winning shows, and I guarantee you will see him at the Olympia. Let's talk about the men's physique class, where Danny Amons repeated what he did last week at the Tampa Pro. He wins the men's physique here rather easily. The guy, once again, I mentioned it last week, the guy's got one of the best set of abs I've ever seen. Congratulations to him. And in the classic physique, Courage O'Para repeats. So we got two repeat champions here, 2 for 2. I mean, what could you say about Courage? There's not much to really, critique here. The guy has got such great balance, such good structure and shape. He knows how to present his body. I think he's better here than he was last week. He's harder, I think. This is a great look for him. He still needs more muscle to be able to compete with the top classic guys at the top of the class. But, man, 2 wins. What could you say about that other than, man, you did your homework, that's for sure. Valentin Petrov, really impressed, I think, a lot of people here. And I think he pushed Courage here. I think it could have gone either way. I think Courage has got a little better shape and structure. I think Valentin's got a little bit more size maybe, but he's very well balanced. This guy, another big star in classic physique we're going to see in the future from him. There's so much new talent coming up. I'm so excited for all the divisions because we're seeing guys that we're not seeing every single year. They're coming out. They're taking advantage of the fact that they have youth. that they have no injuries, that they are working just as hard as everyone else, and they're delivering, and they're moving into that top 5, range at these regional local shows. And then we're going to see them moving into that Olympia and Arnold Classic territory as well over the next couple of years. So great job for Valentin, and congratulations to Kerrith Bajjo on that repeat victory. We're going to be wrapping up all the action in the Men's Open tomorrow, which will be taking place on that Texas Pro stage as well. So stay tuned to RX Muscle for all your contest news updates. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you tomorrow night.